ecosphere, biosphere, infosphere, and population. I made a few times, a couple of times, the example of cities as the most complex ecosystem living on Earth that we can find on Earth, on this planet. Well, cities are strongly related to another hard problem, the problem of population, where population can live, for instance, how population can live, how this human and urban complexity can be set in a proper way in order to ensure the continuity of the evolution life, of a life that evolves itself, as well as of a life that can find a better fitness. And I should remember that if we want to find a better degree of fitness, a higher degree of fitness, we should break the previous equilibriums. So, equilibria. And so find a better equilibrium implies a destruction and a branch of the ancient equilibrium. So, cities and population. How could we take the population problem into account in a way, in a sense that could allow us to make some suppositions in the domain of political ecology? Are population and cities problems in political ecology? Yes, they are. Of course they are. But in which sense? Why should we consider population as an ecology problem, as a political ecology problem? And how can we deal with this problem? I spoke about this problem in the terms of a hard problem, because in my view, according with my view, the population problem is not less complex than the consciousness problem that is considered the hard problems for par excellence. And why could we say so? Well, the answer in my view is simple. Because population is a complex of consciousness, is a complex of minds, is a complex of brains, is a complex of cerebral brain connections, and so we can consider this set of consciousness as a set of human beings. That is a population. But this is the simple part of the answer. The hard part, the tough part of the answer is what follows. That is to say, we cannot push our energy on, upon, against population. Why we cannot? Why can't we do that? Of course, it doesn't mean that we are dictatorial, that we are authoritarian people, that we are acting in a sort of totalitarian way, because it's a political problem. It has nothing to do with scientific problem. For transfer of population, epuration, and so on, other terrible techniques of the war, of human wars, are not here at stake. What is here at stake is the complexity. When I refer myself to a set of neuronal connections, I mean complexity. Now, maybe I tell this in a way that could seem didactical in an excessive way, but I mean it. That is to say, I mean that complexity is an ecological complexity, an ecology of mind, as Gregory Bateson would say, and the steps towards an ecology of mind means steps towards an ecology of people, an ecology of population. And so we should deal with this problem, because population is not only a problem in itself, it is also a problem in relation, in action, in progress. And so we should consider that if we think of the better way under which, of better conditions under which a population can live, we should consider even the sum of the interaction and the result of the interaction between population and the environment, and between people and their contexts. Human, environmental, animal, and so on. Even informatical, digital, automatical, automatized, robotical, cybernetical, and so on. So, we have a scale of complexity that is very high. We have a high degree of complexity if we take population into account. And we can have a principal political problem consisting in understanding how and where a population can live. No? So now we can say that we don't face a surpopulation problem, no, a superpopulation problem. Population is not enough, and it is not too much. We don't have too much population. But why don't we have too much population on Earth? Because we do not consider population as an ecological problem, as an ecological issue. We just consider it as a biological problem. And so biology follows complexity laws. Ecology follows competition laws. So, if we deal with population in a biosphere context, we have some answer. If we deal with population in an ecological sphere, in an ecosphere, we have different answers. Population is not a problem at a human scale level. Earth is sufficient for the whole population on the planet, and maybe for more population on the planet. But at an ecological scale, if we take ecosphere into account, it is a problem, because we should consider the competition between the species. And so we as a species, as a human species, as an animal species, as a biological species in an ecological system, we are in danger. If we consider infosphere, we are not in danger, but maybe we have too much information. We have more information than we need in certain ecosystems, and we have much less information than we need in other systems. We know human body, we know the human genome, but we don't know earthquakes. So our fitness is at a lower degree. As a species, we can survive, but as a species on Earth, we cannot survive. No, we don't have this capacity, because our infosphere is distributed in an asymmetrical way. No, human body gets a high degree of complexity and a high degree of knowledge, high degree of information, but environmental context, and we can consider volcanoes, we can consider life with volcanoes, we can consider the most important geological configuration form on Earth, that it is not a continent, it is not land, but it is the sea, it is oceans, it is water, it is rivers. We know rivers, and we get to know how to live in a good way, with rivers. We can cooperate with rivers, but we don't know oceans. We don't know deserts. We only try to make desert livable, no? But we don't know what deserts are. What can they mean? Putting oil, putting petrol besides. And so, if we leave our exploitation of Earth on the background, in the perspective, we don't know where we live. So we can solve our biosphere problem. We can fight for a green planet. Of course, it is good. We should do that. But it doesn't imply that we know what the planet is. We don't know what the planet is. We just exploit the planet. And we exploit what we can. We try to convert, no? We try to shift the use of energies, but we don't know the planet. We can manage the planet. We can handle the simplest the questions on Earth. That is to say, how to understand earthquakes, for instance, how to understand the climate, not climate changes, but the ordinary climate, how to understand the shift of seasons, how to understand what oceans are, what oceans can give, and what oceans can have and keep in centuries and centuries and centuries until we have a geological scale time that is very different from and then our human scale time. And so if we don't get to make the times, so different times, to merge and converge, we will lose the most important part of ecosphere, of biosphere as a capacity of interaction, and of course geosphere and infosphere, because infosphere is very, very, very advanced if we comparate its capacity of knowledge with human beings. But it is very, very, very late. It has a slow development, a slow increase if we consider infosphere in relation with Earth questions, Earth issues. We know just a little bit more than nothing.